Alright everybody, welcome back to a brand new video, and today we're going to be counting down the top 10 best cards from BREAKpoint. Now this list is going to be, I would have liked to have gotten it out a little sooner, but I mean, giving the set some time to kind of like get more adapted, to see what really makes an impact, I think that was better. So I might, if I want, I'm going to do a top 10 list for like every set, obviously, that comes out. But I'm probably going to kind of narrow things down. I'm probably going to make the top 10 list about a month after the set releases, just, so we have time to see what comes out of the set and what is big and stuff like that. So anyways, let's get into this top 10 countdown. At number 10, we have Mega Scizor EX. Now, Mega Scizor is low at number 10 for one reason, and that's because it hasn't really made that big of an impact, but it has been seeing some play. I'm pretty sure it took second place at a tournament. I don't know which one, but you can watch Squeaky's videos, Team Fish Knuckles video on the Mega Scizor expanded deck, which did well. And that alone kind of puts Scizor on the list, and it has a lot of potential. It really does. It's a pretty good card. So yeah, that's why at number 10 we have Mega Scizor EX. Number 9 we have Garbodor. Now Garbodor, it could see a better spot on the list in the future, but for now Garbodor is kind of sitting at the number 9 spot. But it still has to make the list for the ability Garbotoxin. Garbotoxin is an incredible ability. You have a tool on this Pokemon, any ability in play is shut down. So basically, there are no abilities allowed, and that is humongous, and that is huge in a lot of games. So obviously, Garbodor makes this list at number 9. It's just low because in Standard, we haven't really been seeing much Garbodor seeing a big impact yet, but I'm pretty sure people will start playing more Garbodor decks in the future. At number 8, we have Palkia EX. Now, Palkia is a pretty decent card, mainly because it's reminiscent of Verizon EX. Not in the ability, but in the attack Aqua Turbo. For 2 waters, you do 40, search your deck for 2 water energies, attach to one of your bench Pokemon. This is a great way to build stuff up on the bench, and it obviously is basically like Verizon's Emerald Slash. And it's good for a lot of water decks, and that's kind of why it makes this list. And I'm pretty sure people will find ways to make Palkia work, like maybe with Gyarados, Regice, Seismitoad, Wink Wink, and what else is there? Primal Kyogre. So there's a lot of different options with Palkia. You could probably even run it with non-water type Pokemon. That's how good it is. So yeah, at number 8 we have Palkia. At number 7 we have Max Elixir. This is another card that could be higher on the list, but isn't. But it's still pretty decent. So Max Elixir says, look at the top 6 cards of your deck, attach a basic energy you find there, and put it onto one of your basic Pokemon on your bench. Now that's really good because it's a great way to energy accelerate. I use this card in my Darkrai Garbodor deck that I play a lot. So obviously, Max Elixir is a great card. It's great for energy acceleration. I'm sure it would be higher on the list if this list came out a little later, because I'm sure people will find ways to make this thing power stuff up in one turn and be very powerful. And number 6 is a card that has been seeing good play, and that's Burst Balloon. Now this card is like a dumbed down version of Rock Guard, where you can run 4 of them, and basically if this Pokemon this card is attached to is damaged, or even if that Pokemon's knocked out, the Pokemon that attacked it will take 6 damage, which is nuts. Obviously though, the drawback is you have to discard this tool card from your Pokemon at the end of your next turn. So, or at the end of your opponent's turn. I don't know, but the point is, this card is pretty good, as it's seen a lot of play in Trevenant Break. And it's good as you can just put it on, hey, I'm going to do 60 damage, I'm going to attack you, but you're going to take 60 damage and probably get knocked out or something like that. Burst Balloon is a card that has a lot of potential, and I'm sure we'll see even more play in the future. Another card that I think is probably the best EX in the set, and I think we'll see a good amount of play in time, is Darkrai EX. This card is really good, and I like it more for its attack Dark Pulse and Dark Head. Like, Hypno Darkrai is too clunky, you have all these, you get Zoroark, Hypno in play, takes 3 energies, it just really is a little, like, clunky. But Darkrai with Dark Pulse with Max Elixir, in my opinion, is good. Not to mention, in Expanded, this thing is also really good, because you have Max Elixir and Dark Patch to work with. Pardon me. So yeah, Darkrai EX is just a great EX, and I honestly think that this card is going to be the next big EX Pokemon to come out of the XY series, apart from stuff like Evoltol, Seismitoad, Lucario, and Manectric EX. At number 4, we have Frogadier. And you're probably like, why is Greninja Break not on this list? Well, Frogadier is a little better. And obviously, it's what makes Greninja Break so good, so we have to include Frogadier over that. Greninja Break has been getting a lot of hype for the effect of water duplicates. You play this effect, and basically you can search your deck for 3 Frogadiers, put them on your bench. That is nuts. That means you can get like all your Greninjas in play, possibly on your second turn, thanks to this attack if you can get it off on turn 1 with Wally. Frogadier makes Greninja Break an extremely deadly deck, and it makes it very powerful. And that's why Frogadier comes in at the number 4 spot, just because of how powerful it makes Greninja Break. It is nuts that you can do that like on the first turn. At number 3, we have Fighting Fury Belt. This card, you may argue, should be number 1 or number 2, but the reason it's number 3, and it's still pretty high, it's still top 3, it's a very powerful item card. You put this on a basic Pokemon, and that Pokemon gets 40 more HP, and then their attacks do 10 more damage. Now, obviously, it's better than Muscle Band in that regard, because you get more HP, and you do more damage. Not as much as Muscle Band, but you'd still do more damage, which is very significant. This card is very, very good in EX-based decks, and even Night March. So, Fighting Fury Belt is a really good card. And, like I said, it would probably have topped the list if in time, in my opinion. Maybe at number 2, but I'm going to put it at number 3 for now, because there are 2 cards that I think have made a bigger impact at the moment. Number 2 is Garchomp. Garchomp is very good. This thing is nuts. You can power it up with Karina Rare Candy, and it has Fear Tree. You can use a Focus Sash. That is just insanity. And its 2 attacks are just it's just crazy how good its first 2 attacks are. Turbo Assault does 1 for 60, and you can put an energy card from your discard pile to one of your Pokemon. Any energy, that includes Special Energy. And then Bite Off for 2 energies does 160 to an EX, and with strong energies and stuff like that, you can just one-shot EXs easily. That's why Garchomp's at number 2. This card, in my opinion, is probably going to be the best. Like, it's going to be very deadly, and it's probably going to see a ton of play, in my opinion, in both standard and even expanded possibly, but I would put my money more on standard. But yeah, this card expected to be a deadly, deadly card, and just Garchomp decks are going to be crazy. But the number 1 spot, we have Trevenant Break. Now, I put this at number 1 because it won a tournament, and it's been popping up ever since. Trevenant Break is nuts because you can combo it with Wally and your item lock Trevenant from XY, and that's why this thing comes in at the number 1 spot. Trevenant Break has been seeing a ton of play comboed with Burst Balloon, and its attack Silent Fear is really good because you can just spread all that damage. Like I said, Trevenant Break has been seeing a ton of play. It has been, it's been doing really well, and that's why Trevenant Break comes in at the number 1 spot, just because it's just been dominating with Silent Fear and Burst Balloon, turn 1 item locking. It's just crazy how good Trevenant Break is, and that's why it comes in at number 1, just for being that good. Now, let's get into some honorable mentions and some runner-ups for the list that didn't quite make it. First honorable mention is Ho-Oh. This card would probably be the lower tier honorable mention, just because, I mean, it's not that great, but it is pretty decent with Mega Manectric. You can power this thing up, and with Purifying Fire, you can really make a complete monster with Ho-Oh. So that's why Ho-Oh is a first honorable mention. Second honorable mention goes to Manaphy EX, just for having the ability to give water Pokemon free treat if they have an energy on it, and that is very good, but it didn't quite make the list, but still an honorable mention. The next honorable mention we have is Max Potion. Just for Max Potion to be Max Potion, it is a very, very good card. You can just heal all damage from one of your Pokemon if you do discard all energy of that Pokemon, which is just nuts, and that's why we had to put it on a mention. It didn't quite make the list, but I'm sure Max Potion will, be very deadly in standard. Final mention we got is Delinquent, just for being a pretty useful card. I mean, you can just discard a stadium and play, and then your opponents discard 3 cards from his or her hand. That is amazing disruption, and keep an eye out. I want to make a deck around Delinquent, and that video should be coming out sometime soon. So keep an eye out for that. Anyways, guys, that was my top 10 cards from BREAKpoint. So yeah, hope you got into this video. If you did, hit the like button, and don't forget to subscribe. What do you think the best card from BREAKpoint is? And hey, comment your top 10 if you really want to. I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.